What's up, everybody? It's transfer deadline day. Yes, it finally came. Although it feels like, I saw a meme the other day on Instagram that said, like, it feels like January 74th or something like that. That's pretty much how January has felt. Like, it feels like years ago now that Coutinho left. Doesn't it? I think it does. Coutinho was able to leave, still be out for 3 weeks with an injury, and then come back and play, what, he's played a game and a half now? Jeez, January's been long as hell. How are you doing, though? I'm good. I watched the United versus Tottenham game. Decent match. I mean, Phil Jones, the meme lord of the Premier League, continues to be the meme lord. You could argue that he was at fault for the first goal. Maybe. Not really. But that second goal, oh, baby. Top bins. You'll never see Lukaku with a finish like that. I'm joking. You will. I'm sure Lukaku will start banging them in soon. But man, Mourinho has some figuring out to do, because it seems like you can't just throw those four guys out there up top and see what happens, because it certainly didn't work today. And Josh Nunez, his OG was a howitzer. Yeah, boy, it was a howitzer. So, who won the transfer window? That's a really good question. Maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, we'll just do some a little review, a little wrap up on what's happened so far. First of all, let's talk Daniel Sturridge, because boy, West Brom? Okay. I thought that he was going to go to Newcastle, which I thought would be a little bit better for him, but going to West Brom, I haven't watched West Brom in ages. I made a promise to myself for my own health that I will not watch West Brom as much as possible. And so I don't even know if his style of play is conducive to their style of play. I mean, he's pacey and he likes to get in behind the back, whereas West Brom, at least before Pardew came in, liked to try and just play defense strictly. Only defense, no attacking. So we'll see how it goes there. I'm genuinely interested, because Theo Walcott was a player that I said, it doesn't really excite me that he's going to Everton, but Allardyce knows how to get the best out of players. And I mean, if he can continue on the path that he's sort of set down today, where he scored a brace, Walcott could be a great signing for them. Can Sturridge do great for Pardew at West Brom? Geez, I'm used to Pardew being at Newcastle. I don't know. We'll have to see. That one will be interesting. Eddie H. I just want Giroud back. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about that. I was going to talk about that in a bit. So Giroud to Chelsea for 18 million? 17.5 million? Something like that. I mean, he has the most Premier League substitute goals since the start of the 2012-2013 season, scoring 17 goals from the bench. That's a great plan B that Arsenal had. A great plan B. You're getting rid of, I wouldn't say, definitely not a sure thing, but you're getting rid of a guy who just provides that extra option for you when you need a goal in a game, sort of like Mourinho used to use Fellaini. You have a way better option than that in Giroud. So to get rid of him to go to Chelsea just didn't make sense to me. But I guess there's those three transfers, Batshuayi, Giroud, and Aubameyang, that were all sort of connected in a sense. So something needed to happen there. There's even talks of Arsenal paying Batshuayi's fee to go on loan to to Chelsea, so Batshuayi can go on loan to Dortmund, and it's just, what a mess. What are you guys saying? Most bullet headers since 12-13. Yeah, for sure. Most scorpion kicks out of any Arsenal player since 2012-2013. I think so. I think Giroud could link with Hazard pretty nicely, kind of how he links with the Grise for France. I mean, yeah, I really like Olivier Giroud. I think that he's more than just a plan B, and that he can be a solid player for them. Like you said, like he is for France. He's their number one, or at least most of the time he's their number one. He's one of those players that will miss a sitter, will sky a sitter from point blank, and then he'll, like I said, score a scorpion kick or a crazy volley from outside the box or something like that. So if I'm Arsenal, I would have liked to have kept him, but that's just me. I don't follow Arsenal day in, day out, so hey. Angramir Bergeson. Wow, sorry. Build reports that we have a buyback clause on Mishi. Oh, you mean that Dortmund has like a agreed upon fee at the end of the loan? Or do you mean that Chelsea are going to get him back at the end of the season? Because my understanding was that it was just a loan until the end of the season. How many goals for Giroud this season for Chelsea? That's a really tough one. Eddie H. Plus, we sold him to Chelsea, which is worse. I know, dude. That really, really sucks. Let's just take a quick look at any of the live transfer updates because I want to get those most recent news for you guys. What are we saying here? Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson has signed a new long-term contract with Liverpool and will now join Hull City on loan. Wow. Joe Lawley joins Nottingham Forest. Markovic. Is this Markovic from Liverpool? Markovic joins... Yeah. Lazar Markovic joins Anderlecht on loan. Man, whatever happened to Lazar Markovic? What I remember of him at Benfica, he was like a Lionel Messi at times, dude. Low to the ground. Great pace, can dribble around anyone, had a decent finish on him, had good vision. Then he went to Liverpool and it just all died. It was all dead. Just like Renato Sanchez left Benfica, went to Bayern, stages way too high, and he just fails, you know? Rafael Mahani, what do you think of Johnny Evans? Didn't Arsenal fail to get him in the end, or did he end up going to Arsenal? I didn't hear anything about him, but... Hey, I mean, Johnny Evans is a decent defender. I don't know why everyone wants him so badly, but I don't know. It kind of baffles me. Hector Moreno de Espanyol from Roma. What are the best websites to follow transfer news on? Jake Gish asked that, and my personal favorite, honestly, is just to go onto the r/soccer on Reddit, that subreddit, and then you just go to new, and all the news will be there, right there for you. Reddit is a great resource. It's also, people seem to have a decent sense of humor on there and stuff, so definitely check out r/soccer. Other than that, for official news, sometimes I go to ESPN, although I don't love ESPN, but yeah. He's going to Sociedad, not Espanyol. Oh, okay, there you go. We got it. You see, I don't even have to look into this stuff for you guys. You guys all just find it out on your own and correct yourself. You guys just fix yourselves. It's great. I love it. All right, what other moves happened? Well, of course, there's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang going to Arsenal. I guess we can talk about that for a quick second. This one seemed like the worst kept secret in ages. Like it was just going to happen. I mean, I said it would happen early last week, but then it just so happened that it happened early-ish this week. The first thing that I think of when I think of this deal is that he scored 40 goals last season, and he's already at 21 this season, and that's with like a lot of missed matches, or at least lately, you know, matches he was banned for or whatever. So clearly he's in good form right now. But the thing is, Arsenal needs some sorting out at the back, and probably a new manager if we're being real. I mean, can I be real for a minute? Arsenal needs a new manager. I think that's, again, the other worst kept secret ever out there. And that's not to take anything away from Swansea from yesterday, though, and Carlos Carvajal. He has them playing excellent football right now. I mean, they just played who? Tottenham, Arsenal, and Liverpool or something in their last 5 matches, and they came out with 10 points. That's pretty damn good. So credit to Swansea. But I don't know what Wenger, like similarly to what Jose Mourinho is supposed to do at Manchester United, what's Wenger supposed to do with his lineup? Is it going to be Lacazette and Aubameyang up front with Ozil and Mkhitaryan on the wings, or what's the setup going to be there? Any Arsenal fans, where do you see him playing? What are you guys saying? Does Real need winter signings? They were really quiet considering the form. Yeah, and they were really quiet last summer too, so I'm not really sure like what's going on with them at the moment. Toffees will pay all of Mangala's wages, believed to be $65,000 a week. Very good news for us and City. So Mangala's gone? Is that a thing? He's on his way? I don't see that one yet, but hey, I'll take your word for it. For now, what are we saying? Everton confident of signing Eliakim Mangala from Manchester City. Arrives at Everton training ground for medical. Okay, so it's looking like it might happen. I don't know. Mangala, I remember him being incredible when he was at FC Porto. Again, Portuguese league. But when he went to City, he's just looked awful. Like, dreadful, man. Dreadful, dreadful, dreadful. So, Conte sack? Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, he's probably not getting the players that he wants this winter, but that's okay. Maybe he wanted Giroud. I don't know. Josh Nunez, Mickey on the right, Oba up top, and Ozil on the left. That's a guess, though. Yeah, where's Lacazette then? Just on the bench? That seems kind of rough. I mean, you paid a lot for that guy. McKing Donaldberger. I mean, Monreal is a striker now, so play him on the wing. Dude. Oh, man. Yeah, Monreal has been their number one lately. He's been scoring goal after goal. I think he scored more goals this season than he's scored in his entire career, basically. Like, it's insane. Alex Rahili. I'm surprised Liverpool didn't buy players besides Van Dijk. Yeah, I mean, I think that Conte, I think that Klopp is pretty happy with the squad that he has right now. And knowing that they have Naby Keita coming in the summer, maybe he just wants to see what he can do with his club or with his squad that he currently has. I don't really know. Who's the Italian that Chelsea just got? Emerson Palmieri. He's actually, I believe, Brazilian. And let's talk about him. So he went for £17.6 million to Chelsea from Roma. And the first thing I think about when I think of Emerson is a friendly match I went to a couple of years ago. So Roma came to Montreal. And they played against the Impact, and we lost, of course. I believe it was only like 2-1 or something like that, or 2-0, but the score really flattered Roma. Like, we truly deserved to win that game. Drogba hit the crossbar, etc., etc., etc. Anyways, the second half starts, and we're 2-0 down. And our manager puts out our 16-year-old, Jean-Yves Balou-Tabla, who, by the way, just signed with Barcelona B. He's like an incredible young player. He's 18 now, but at the time of this friendly, he was 16. And he was playing down the right, and Emerson was the left back for Roma. And Balou comes onto the pitch, and he absolutely embarrasses Emerson Palmieri. Like, it was horrendous to watch. He was deking him inside out, all down that right flank. So we were all going crazy, obviously, because our 16-year-old Canadian / Ivory Coast little winger is destroying this Serie A defender. Although I think he was new to the club at the time, to be fair. But still, we were losing it. So I haven't watched Emerson Palmieri like since that, I don't think, because I barely watch Roma ever play. But man, I'm sure he's improved and he'll be better for Chelsea. Obviously, that's why they're in for him. But that's the only thing I know of him, which is kind of funny in my opinion. Hey, Pazzini joins Levante. Another thing about Pazzini is that he's a dude I used to like slay it with in like FIFA 08 when I had a Fiorentina career mode. Whew, watch out. When I have Gianpaolo Pazzini, goals galore. What are we saying here? Bordeaux signed Martin Braithwaite on loan from Middlesbrough with an option to buy. Speaking of Real Madrid, Florentino Perez chose as best CEO in Spain 2017 by the Spanish branch of Forbes. Because he didn't spend money? I mean, Forbes is a financial magazine. Maybe that's why. I don't know. What else do we have here? Any other updates? What are you guys saying in the comments? Bordeaux want the Lord thoughts. Do you think Naby Keita will do good in Liverpool? I do think that Naby Keita will do well at Liverpool. He's a great passer, incredible passer. He's got the work rate of N'Golo Kante. I think he's just what they need. I think he's going to be fantastic. Josh Nunez, I mean, who was his competition? Barca, who let Neymar walk? Yeah. Man. Oh, you mean Bordeaux want the Lord Bentner? I see what you say. I see what you say. No nickname required. I was hoping that Inigo Martinez would go to a better club than Athletic Bilbao. Sorry, man. Sorry. All right, what other transfers? Let's talk about Michy Batshuayi. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Michy Batshuayi because, dudes, I mean, I think that he's an extremely underrated player and that he wasn't treated very nicely at Chelsea. They weren't too nice to my Batshuayi. He had the best goals per minute average of any player since he'd arrived in the league that had scored more than 5 goals. So he didn't appear often, but he scored when he did. At least I thought he did. Will he do well at Dortmund? I think that's another question entirely. He certainly won't fill the void that Aubameyang left, but I think he could be decent with... And that's the thing is, like, with players like him, we haven't really seen him given an extended run of starting matches, you know? So if he's given that at Dortmund, we could see a totally different player than he was at Chelsea. I mean, if he improves from what he was at Chelsea, then he's going to be incredible because he was already scoring goals for them. And although, yes, at times he did look pretty shocking, but he always scored. Josh Nunez, he looked really good against Newcastle in the FA Cup for Chelsea. Yeah, he did. He looked excellent. That second goal he scored, the most beautifully calculated deflection I've ever seen. Beautiful. Did Newcastle actually buy a player? Not that I've heard of. Well, I mean, they did buy that guy the other day who said, yeah, I know a bit about Newcastle. I watched the movie Goal. That was one of the most incredible sound bites from this transfer window. It has to be. I think Peter Stoger, coach of BVB, kind of sucks. I think he'll kind of stunt his progress. Maybe. I mean, I think Peter Stoger is sort of working with what he's got right now, and his team's sort of being picked off, and there's injuries. Like, they haven't played with Royce in feels like 12 years now. That dude's been dead for ages, and then he comes back and he gets injured again. So once he gets Royce back, once he has Batshuayi there, and Pulisic is back in form, etc., 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 then let's judge Peter Stoger from there. I think you definitely got to give him the rest of the season. You can't just take it away from him now. He's working on defensive solidity at the moment. That's why they're drawing and drawing and drawing. So yeah, give him a chance. See how he does. Overall, I think Dortmund had a very bad window, but that's my opinion. I'd probably agree with you there. When you lose a guy like Aubameyang and don't really bring in much, then, you can't have a great window. All right, let's see if there's any updates here, and let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. John Flanagan has joined Bolton on loan until the end of the season. Wahoo. Flanagan, the beater boy. Well, enjoy your time at Bolton. Where is Bolton? Are they still in the Championship, or are they in the League One now? I haven't followed them recently. Harry Wilson on loan to Hull. Yep. Julia Pachuto, hard eyes. Mark Bartra to Betis. Like, come on, why? I know. Dortmund's doing weird things, man. They're doing really, really weird things. Like, I get they need to reshuffle the deck a little bit to get things back on track, but this doesn't really seem like the way to do it, you know? Okay, what are we saying here? Bartra is average. You just said my name, but it was the soccer player? What soccer player? What are you talking about? After Swansea signed Andre Ayew, do you think they will avoid relegation? It's hard to say because Swansea's getting that classic little boost that they always get when they sign a new manager. Like they got it with, what's his name last time? Not Puel. He had a French name, but he's not French. Anyways, the last guy who got sacked. They got a nice little boost from him after he signed on, so... Will they stay up? Maybe. It's really tight at the bottom, though. Like, the race to the bottom is more exciting than the race at the top at the moment, I find. Yes, Paul Clement. Paul Clement. Not really a French name, depending how you read it. Simon Clement? No. It's Paul, but close. Ilocos Metro. I don't think Bayern would be a good move for Pulisic. Yeah, I think that Pulisic needs to stay where he is right now. He's still so young. Don't move when you're so young, guys. If you have a good thing going on, stay where you're at. Nurture yourselves. Become a regular starter and a top player at your own club, and then move. You know, you don't need to be moving off when you've just start to get a lot of good games in. Do you reckon Arsenal will come back in the next part of the season with their new signings? I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I mean, considering the match yesterday, it's really hard to say if anyone truly believes in Arsenal at this moment. They don't really seem to be killing it. Arsene Wenger is just getting worse and worse, it seems. Yeah, I wouldn't count on them doing anything in the next halves of the season. Do you agree that Memphis has room to grow at Lyon? Yeah, of course. I think that Memphis has been playing incredibly well since he's been at Lyon. He clearly moved to United, again, like I was just saying, too early to go from PSV to United. And especially I think that he had a lot of faith in Van Gaal in being able to, you know, set him on the right track immediately. And that relationship from the national team with Van Gaal would be the exact same at Manchester United, and it wasn't. And I think that, you know, that's a huge confidence blow for him. It was the first time where he had all these spotlights on him, and he was just failing and failing and failing and failing. And there's only so many times you could do that before you start to question, like, well, maybe I'm just not as good as I thought. So he needed to leave. There was no other choice but for him to leave. And France seems like a good place to go because they don't really defend well there. So, yeah. Which brings me to the Lucas Moura signing. I don't know what you guys think of that one, but Lucas Moura kind of scares me a little bit if I'm a Tottenham fan, because I mean, he wasn't the most expensive signing ever for them, but I think they are taking a little bit of a risk on this guy. Despite being at PSG for like 5.5 seasons now, he sort of feels like an unproven player to me. And yes, he's won a few Ligue 1 titles and made a lot of appearances in the last 2 seasons, but according to many PSG fans that I've spoken to and read their comments on articles and on Reddit and stuff like that, a lot of them are saying that they're happy to see him go because he's dead weight. And I mean, with players like Di Maria and Neymar and Mbappe, etc., of course there's going to be some high quality players that are going to be considered dead weight, but with him, apparently even when he was good, he was still kind of bad. So I don't know. He could come good for Spurs, but just if you're a Spurs fan, be careful about getting your hopes up for this one. I think, in my opinion, he could be great, but we'll see. If this was like FIFA 13 or something like that, and we're talking FIFA Ultimate Team, damn, then you definitely want to get Lucas Moura. But right now, in the real world, in 2018, in the January transfer window, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I remember playing with Lucas in FIFA. Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. Mickey is better than Sanchez. I don't know about that, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If it's the Mkhitaryan that they had at Borussia Dortmund, then yeah, then I'll definitely agree with you there. Hey, by the way, you guys like this live chat showing up on the video so you can see your comments when they show up and see me reacting to them live? Isn't that cool? Wow. I did it all for you. The guy said he wished Chelsea should have a stadium disaster like Hillsborough so Conte could die. That what a salty Chelsea fan said on Twitter. Man, I can't read it all. Why is it that whenever I do this live shit, I can't read it all? What's going on? Mickey was only good under Tuchel. Yeah, I mean, considering when he left there and he went to Manchester United and he was like non-existent for a while, then yeah, I'd agree with that. What do you think about Giroud being at Chelsea? I spoke about that at the beginning. I think that that's a decent signing for Chelsea. I think that it was more stupid of Arsenal to sell him than it was more like smart of Chelsea to buy him. You know what I'm saying? Like for Chelsea, it's a decent selling, but I think that the stupidity of Arsenal in this case sort of outweighs it. So it tips the balances towards Chelsea, but only a little bit. Simply because, like I said, Giroud's like the best plan B in the league. So, hey, Zlatan to LA. Dude, that would be huge. That would be so cool if Zlatan came to MLS. I mean, he's going to be slow and sort of hard to watch at times, which is always sort of interesting in the MLS because it's such a fast, physical league. It's more physicality than it is skill, I find. So if you are like a skiller type player, you need to also have some pace, like a Nacho Piatti or a Giovinco or something like that. So for him, we'll see how it goes because Drogba came to the league slow and he was good for about maybe a season's worth of MLS football. But after that, he was, God, I hate to say it, but he was really hard to watch. Really hard to watch. Markovic is loaned to Anderlecht. Yep, that's a good one for him. Wait, you're saying it happened? Zlatan signed with the Galaxy? Are you serious? No way. Ibrahimovic. What? Dude! Wait, this is Metro saying it 15 hours ago. Is it confirmed? I'm going to wait because LA Galaxy yet to comment on Zlatan, so I'm going to wait until we get the official word before I get excited. But if he comes to the MLS, I'll be really excited about that. Napoli trying desperately for a winger while Unas is there like that ep of the Fresh Prince with his dad when Will talks to Uncle Phil saying, "How come you don't want me, man?" I like that. Any opinions on Gattuso as manager for AC Milan? Well, to quote Gattuso, regarding him and his skill as a manager, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. You know? And if you haven't seen that video, you gotta watch it because that's one of the best Gattuso moments I've ever seen. Flanagan loaned to Bolton. Yep. Lookman joins Leipzig on loan. Yeah, I read about that one and how Sam Allardyce tried to convince him to stay, but he really wanted to go to Leipzig. And I guess we'll see how he does. If he does, because when he started at Everton, he looked good. But is it just a case of he can't get a look in now? I don't know. Everton fans will have to speak up on that particular area. Will Kai Kamara win the Golden Boot? Man, I really wanted Montreal to sign Kai Kamara. He ended up going to, it was the Whitecaps, right? Which is funny. That's the other team I probably would have ended up supporting if I'd stayed in BC, but I moved to Montreal. Yeah, I think that he's a proven goal scorer in the MLS, and he'll be a good signing for anyone who picks him up. And the Whitecaps are doing some good things and signing some, you know, younger, like Latin players that I think are going to be great for them. So that's going to be really exciting. Red Bull is a good energy drink, so maybe that's why. I mean, yeah, that's usually, I think mostly what players base their career decisions on is whether that city has a strong following for a good energy drink. And if it does, then maybe that's enough to swing them. Maybe Ademola Lookman is a huge Red Bull fan. Maybe it gives him wings all the time. And that was enough to sway him to leave Liverpool and go to Leipzig. So, hey. Eto to Konyaspor. I saw that, yeah, he bought out his own contract, but it was to Konyaspor? I don't know. Who is the best January signing? That's a tough one. It sort of remained to be seen. At present, I'd say that the team that's probably had the best January transfer window is probably Arsenal. Maybe Arsenal. I don't know. They still need help at the back, I think. But to bring in Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan and, you know, get rid of Sanchez, who was slumping, and get rid of Walcott, who just... It was time. It was time to get rid of him. Plus, to maybe have Ozil signing a new contract, I think that's going to be... I think that's a pretty damn good January transfer window, if you ask me. If I'm an Arsenal fan, you know? Waiting for Monster to start their own sports team. Yeah. Arsenal will need a center back and a CDM. Outside of transfers, what are your thoughts on Ozil's extending his contract with Arsenal? Not official, but that's according to Ornstein from BBC, so as good as done. Ornstein. Yeah, he's actually... I found this list of, like, trusted sources for transfers, and he's up there for sure. Him and, like, DiMarzio and stuff. I think that... Yeah. I think that's... I sort of just alluded to it now, but yeah, I think that's huge for him. I think he does look sort of happy at Arsenal, and I mean, if they are paying him what's being reported, then why would you leave? He's sort of towards the twilight of his career. Why not sign that big contract and just sort of buckle up, boy? You know? Let's see what we say here. Just hours away from shutting. Is the window not closed? It's got to be. Sorry, my computer is going nuts. That's it. Transfer window closed, boy. Lazar Markovic gone. Newcastle striker Alexander Mitrovic was heading back to Anderlecht on loan, but PA journalist Simon Peach says the forward could now join Fulham for the rest of the season. Well, Mitrovic. Interesting. I guess Anderlecht got Markovic, so they didn't want to get Mitrovic, or maybe they wanted Mitrovic as well. I haven't actually checked on the Belgian league. That's actually on my list of leagues to sort of follow in my next weekend review. Closed since 6 in Europe. What do you think of Laporte to City? That's another guy that I know very little about. I don't really follow Bilbao. I remember he was like one of those dudes that everyone was like, sign him in FIFA. You got to sign him. It's crazy that they paid that much money for him. Like really, really crazy if you ask me. I guess we'll see. I guess they needed a little more reinforcements at the back. I thought that they wanted more central midfielder. And also, I don't understand what City's doing because they want to bring in Riyad Mahrez, but why aren't you playing Bernardo? Like, what does Guardiola have against Bernardo Silva? He played the other day and scored a cracking goal. Disallowed, unfortunately, although it shouldn't have been. But I think that Bernardo Silva is a great player. And maybe I'm just biased because I have Portuguese blood, but play the kid, you know? Also, Pep said that he would stay committed to the City youth teams or the youth players. I don't see a ton of them coming through. Why don't you use those guys instead of buying Riyad Mahrez, you know? For £65 million, what you offered, which got rejected, obviously. But, yeah. So, it's looking like done deal everywhere. So, the window's closed. I don't know. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think, did the best in this transfer window? Like I said, maybe Arsenal? Maybe Arsenal? What are your thoughts on the St. Etienne transfers? Mbia, Subotic, Debuchy. Yeah, it's interesting that they got those guys. Especially Subotic and Debuchy. I don't really know Mbia that well. But Debuchy, he was good back in the day until he got that awful injury and then couldn't get a look in at Arsenal. And then Subotic was also good back in the day. So it will be interesting to see how they do. Also going to be keeping my eye on Ambroise Oyongo, who went to Montpellier this transfer window. Great left back for the Montreal Impact. Was the starting left back for Cameroon when they won the African Cup of Nations. So, yeah. Anything else? I kind of think Bernardo plays a lot. He just faces a lot of competition. Does he play a lot, though, or does he come off the bench a lot? I don't see him starting too many matches, to be honest. Who won the window? Neymar's dad is still winning. Yeah, he'll be winning. He'll be winning from beyond the grave, man. Do you know Justin Miram? Love him. Yeah, didn't he just move? He just got traded by Columbus, didn't he? Do I know him personally? No. Plays every cup game and starts in non-important Prem matches. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that if he was to... Shout out from a pork chop in Ontario. Keep up the good videos, Adrian. Hey, what up? I think that if he was to start more matches in the Prem, that would be a good thing. But basically what I was just trying to say is, why are you bringing in Riyad Mahrez, who you're probably going to start ahead of Bernardo all the time, instead of just playing Bernardo more and getting him more game time and getting him to develop more, you know? That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I think that will be about it. I was hoping that there would be some crazy ending to the transfer window, you know, with a bunch of deals happening right at the dead, or like what we had last summer when Adrian Silva, you know, was he going to make it to Leicester on time? And then it ended up that he didn't, but Leicester still had his rights. So then he just sat on the sidelines forever. Unlucky for him. But alas, nothing happened. So I thank you guys for watching. You know, it's always fun doing these live things with you guys because I love speaking in the comments. Maybe I should just turn the live thing on and sit here all day and just talk to you guys all day. You can come in and out. It'd be great. Just start like what was that movie with Jim Carrey when he has like cameras following his every move where he is the TV show? Maybe we could just do that with me and you guys can follow me around, ask me questions. It'd be great. Pablo saying Ademola Lookman to RBL is very crazy. I agree, man. Josh Nunez, love the videos, Adrian. You're the man. You're the man. And everyone else who comments and watches these live things, thank you so much. Love you so much. I hope that you have a great weekend. Dave, Truman Show, thank you. Thank you. I hope that you have a great week. Here's a little exclusive for you. I'm actually working on a Robert Lewandowski. I kind of say both, like vase or vase, player bio that's going to be coming out sometime within the next week. So from this Wednesday to next Wednesday, somewhere in between there. Maybe even this Friday, who knows. I'm also going to work on some FIFA content if you guys want to watch some of that this Friday. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. You guys are the best. And goodbye.